There's your stuff in there. As the same comes in,
I believe you in all that.
Okay.
I can move over and make it easy.
Okay, it's 5:31. We'll go ahead and begin the meeting. We will start by taking attendance. Kristen, are you here?
Here.
Bill, are you here?
Here.
Jennifer, are you here?
Here.
And Avis is here. We also have Seth and Isaac and Alex. If everyone could take a moment to look over the meeting minutes. Kristen, if you wanted to go ahead, if you had some changes you wanted to make to those, or just if you had any big ones to point out there.
Yes.
I know we can't, or I guess, yeah, no, Bill's here. We can vote on those.
The, one of the mistakes is on the comments from guests. I left that, Seth said that, and then I just left it empty. That, I think, is the only mistake in the actual minutes. This, that I have you sign, I had the date wrong, so I changed it. And on the agenda, I had the date wrong. So those were the agenda for this meeting. So I have changed that also. But I can just cross that last part out and leave it, and then so if, or I can add whatever we need to add if you want to add something.
Did anyone have any additions to what, anything for the comments from guests on that portion? If not, if we're just getting rid of that, Seth said that, there's no reason to not move forward with going ahead and voting on those, or approving those minutes. Is that the only?
That's the only thing I saw.
Did anyone have any additions? Seth, do they look okay to you?
Yeah.
If someone wants to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from September 23rd.
I'll make a motion.
Bill makes a motion. Is it seconded?
Second.
Jennifer will second. All those in favor of approving the minutes?
And I'll just
And I'll abstain.
delete that last hanging sentence.
Yep, no problem. Okay. Do you have the paper to sign still, Kristen?
Yes.
Okay. And then we'll go ahead and move on to old business. We have the signed stipend waiver, which was on the front of the stack of papers that Seth gave. There were no changes that need to be made to this, Kristen, right? Other than one.
Yeah, that one, that is from Seth, so that one,
Oh, okay. This is from
I
Seth.
typed it up and I wanted to get your guys' approval before we move forward with it.
Okay. And Seth, did you, were you able to forward this to Nikki by chance to have her see it?
No, I was waiting to get approval of this to have them sign before I started the rest of the process.
Gotcha.
So I was going to either reach out to Nikki or Amy, because Amy does payroll. It's kind of the same process. So I was going to reach out to one of them to see exactly how to proceed.
Okay.
There's just a small typo on that last line.
We can
Alright.
sing.
Singing instead of
Signing,
signing instead of
sorry.
singing.
Yep, I'll modify that.
You definitely don't want me singing the document.
Lila could.
She could.
And this was worked out with Sarah, as in the books, as far as our budgeting. She knows that this will be coming out.
No, I haven't spoken with anybody about it.
Okay.
Because again, I was just going through what I thought was the correct order of things. I want to get this cleared before I had them sign it, before I started anything else. I want to make sure this was okay by you guys before I move forward.
And then I know that I read it somewhere. How did we come to the 3,000?
I believe it was approximately 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
yeah, I
Right,
think
6 months.
I think it was 6 months, 500.
500 a month, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
is kind of what we just threw out.
Yes, I read that, and I just
Yeah.
didn't know which one I was going to have to look through.
And
again.
everybody thought that that was acceptable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I'm just asking because I need to make sure I have the quick answer whenever I get asked.
Yeah, that's
So I
fine.
just want to make sure, but, and I will be sure to highlight that in the previous meeting minutes so that we'll have that to give to them as well, whoever needs it.
Okay.
It's from the September ones. I'm looking at it right now. Sorry.
Do we need to sign something for you?
That's why I don't know if you need me to correct the typo, or if somebody wants to sign it now and they can sign it tomorrow.
My only question is this, would this be a claim?
A claim?
Versus payroll.
For us to approve the money? Like how we normally approve claims for, does that make
Oh.
sense, or?
Yeah.
That is my only thing, is, do you think we need it typed up like that? I would almost think we would need it typed up as a claim. And I'm not trying to make it harder for anyone.
Yeah.
I'm just saying paperwork,
Yeah.
paper trail wise. I
Right.
think that's how we would normally get that, right? To do something like this? Because I know we had given a bonus in the past, but I did not remember how that bonus was given. I just remember we didn't have any paperwork for it.
I don't know where that bonus came from last time, or if it came out of
This was before you were
director.
director.
Yes, so
But there was, what was it, $1,000 each
I don't know.
that it had been? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes,
I mean, it was probably 2 years ago.
if not more, yes. But I don't remember how.
I don't know
How it
that.
happened.
Okay.
If it is a claim, is it something that he writes up as a claim, but can we do by email or?
Yeah,
come
we
in
would be
before
able
the
to-
next meeting?
We would be able to
Because-
approve that via email. My only thing is that I think if this is taken to Nikki, I think she'll want the claim.
okay,
Or even Amy. I think they'll want a claim from the board,
okay.
which is no problem. You know how to write up. The claims are super simple, right?
I've never done, I mean, I've submitted my bills and stuff like that, I've never typed up a claim other than my normal bills, my normal payroll.
A claim is just something that we would get from you stating, I have one. I have a couple actually. I can give you one
Okay,
that
yeah.
we've used previously.
Yeah.
And you'll just have to change the amount and I think the date on it.
That's fine, yeah.
But it's super simple. It just states what the money's going to be used for, and it's just an
Okay.
asking of the board to approve that.
Gotcha.
Um,
And
and I-
was it not approved in the last meeting though? Like I thought we approved the 3,000.
I mean, I think we did verbally. I don't know if we need paperwork for that, because it says Kristen, Bill
Yeah.
made a motion, Kristen seconded.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same policy we've used the whole time for any kind of money spent from non-reverting. Like,
Yeah.
I come to you guys saying like, I need this much for whatever, and then you guys approve it, and like, that's,
Yeah, and I think that's the difference that we're talking about now, is that it wouldn't come out of, because it's non-reverting, it would be more of a claim than a payroll check. I guess that's
Right.
where I'm at as well. And it seems like it would be smoother,
okay.
but I don't know, this is kind of my first rodeo on the bonus thing.
Yeah, same here, same
Same.
here. So pretty much you need me to rewrite this, including, well, I got the amounts in there.
Well, and this is for Paul, right?
Well, this is for
them to sign.
them. I'm saying that the board would need something, and as I'm talking, I can look in here. I'm sure I have
Yeah, I think this.
previous
portion is
claims.
good.
The board needs something that is, I mean, it's just a small couple,
Just asking for a
Of
certain amount of funds
sentences.
for what it's for.
yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be a headache. It's just,
No, that's why I
It's-
wanted to do this, because I want to make sure this is all on the up and up and done properly, so whatever
yes.
we need to do.
I just don't know what you would have to, I don't want you to get to someone's office and need something like this to present,
Yeah.
and it holds you up from getting those checks cut. I know we have claims. I'm not finding any in my binder. Yeah, I know we have some. But I mean, this is good. I think, if anything, yes, just the one typo, but I think this is good. And have you went over any of this with Paul and Isaac just in verbal discussion or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, just so,
I try to keep them in the loop the best I can.
sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, but this looks good. And the money is already approved, so. But Seth, if you could just get a claim typed up, and we could get that done by tomorrow. I
Yeah.
think via email would be fine.
Via
I will.
email, speaking, I sent this to the park board 2 days after the last meeting, and I never heard back from anybody, so like,
I don't remember getting that.
The park board email.
Yeah.
Oh,
so.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know how to do that.
So I don't know who,
I've been locked out of it and can't get in.
I was about to
the
say.
last time I tried, and then, yeah, so
Yeah, I need
Me
to talk
too.
to IT about that
we need.
because it was supposed to be forwarded to all of our personal emails as well, so that no one would miss anything. That was
Right.
the nice thing about it, is that it was going to forward to everyone.
Yeah, sure. And I've just been doing straight, sometimes I CC your personal account,
Mhm.
but other than that, I do the president, but other than that, I just do the park board, so I don't spam everybody's account, so. That's why you haven't got any personal account, because I just send it straight to the park board.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep.
So,
Okay. It's Rodney.
yeah.
Rodney Wolf, I believe.
No one has received anything forwarded from the park board email. Yes.
No,
No.
no,
That's
no.
cool.
No. Okay.
And I've never been able to get on it either. Like to check that, like way back when, I was never able to get on.
Okay, I did send everyone the username and password a couple of times, so
Mhm.
we'll try that again. Everyone should be able to access that.
Can you resend that?
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem. I will. And I want to say, in an email far, far away from now, I had also sent the email I received from Rodney with the username and password, the official one from him. So I think you should be able to type in either my name or his and also have access that way too. But okay. Anyone have any? Are we moved on from this? We'll get
Just
a.
with that, so I don't think I have anybody else's personal email, just yours. If I email you, can you then forward it to the rest of the?
Yeah, of course. If
Before
you
we figure out the park board
yeah, if
issue,
you
like,
email me, I will forward it to
Forward it to
them.
the rest.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And are you gonna get him a copy of the claim?
Yes, I will
Okay.
get Seth a claim probably by the time that I leave. Because I don't know that there was any particular, what do I want to say? Format,
Just-
thank
it
you.
was just
Yeah, it
I
was,
think essentially just like this sheet with me asking you
Yes.
guys,
Just
yeah,
as-
I've seen, I know what you're
Yep.
just requesting the funds, and you guys approving it.
yes. I think you've even brought us one to a meeting before.
Yeah, I've requested, yeah,
Um,
further things.
So, okay, everyone, this is okay for Seth to give to Paul and Isaac.
Yes.
Do we need to vote again, or are we, okay?
I don't think we need to vote on that. I think it was just in looking at the waiver and seeing if this
Okay.
Yeah.
was fine. Anything else from old business anyone has? Okay, we'll move on to new business. I have nothing on the agenda here. Seth, I do want to ask you, are there any, what if somebody wants to donate a bench to the park? What are the stipulations with that? Is there a particular bench that they buy?
I don't think they need to submit, the design, dimensions, all that kind of stuff, and need to get approved by either me or you guys to make sure it fits with the park's aesthetic and location, just make sure it's a good fit for what they want, wherever we want it.
Okay, it's in memorial to a loved one for this person, so that is what they were wanting. And what are your stipulations with location on that? Because I think they did want a particular location, and I'm not 100% where that is. I cannot remember where they said. However, is that something that we give people the opportunity to decide?
I would
choose?
say we would discuss it with them, because,
Okay.
nothing personal, we just know how the park operates and flows more than they do, so, not to say exactly where it needs to go, but we can say it would be better here, or more well used in this location, as opposed to where they might want it, so it's just something I would want to discuss with them, to to make sure it fits the park, make sure everything flows, so to speak.
Okay. That's all I had on that. Good deal. And do you by chance have any ballpark on price range for those benches?
I think it just depends on the style of the bench. You know, you can go anywhere from stainless steel, or then you got the composite wood. I mean, it just depends on the material, I think, and size.
Okay.
Do we have multiple styles? I know we have the very similar benches along the trail to downtown.
I mean, there's
The new
nothing
ones.
set in stone. We have a couple of the composite benches up by the office, like we walk in the main office, we just
Yeah.
up out there.
Mhm.
Those same style benches are at our dining hall on the outside patio.
Mhm.
I believe a couple of them are even being utilized for like benches in our bathhouse shower as well. So, I mean, that's what I've seen. I don't know where those came from or who that was decided upon,
Mhm.
but they are durable, waterproof,
Yeah.
heavy too, so it's hard for somebody to run off with them. So,
Okay.
because other than that, other than those couple locations I just mentioned, we really don't have benches anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all that I had for new business. Okay, we'll move on to Seth's director's report.
Okay. Starting off with personnel, just a little update. Isaac did fracture his heel like a month or so ago. It is getting better. Waiting to hear, I think he's going to go back to the doctor and get it reassessed at some point to see how he's doing. But seems to be improving. We're just working around right now, finding jobs that he can do. It's all good there. Moving on for the office administration issues. We've already discussed the bonus down below, but I did receive back the council's proposed budget for 2026, which is on the front page of your next little packet that came to you. The main takeaways from that is I request an increased pay for Isaac since he was low man on the total. I was trying to get him closer to Paul since they're the same position, and that was denied. They did not authorize that 8%. I guess it turned out to be an 8% increase. They wouldn't have did the 4% across the board, but they did not do the 8% for Isaac, unfortunately. They did, however, so far grant our wishes for an extra line item for a splash pad account. So we get an additional $10,000 a year specifically for the splash pad, so we don't have to worry about taking it out of non-reverting or other accounts. So that's a win there. Moving on, we had an issue at Eco. One of our campers' windows was struck by either. I've been speaking with George, and we much like a halfway point. So the plan is for us to manage our half, they manage their half, and manage their half, and eventually he's going to start the paperwork here in the next couple of months to transfer the ownership of those easements over to Jennings County Parks and Rec. So kind of half and half. They take care of theirs, we take care of ours. So next up, I put on here our park board member terms just because in passing some people mentioned about maybe wanting to end their service and move on to other things when you think about replacing. So I just threw that up there just to get an idea of where everybody's at, because I want to get a game plan if we need to start replacing members, whatever. And to your point, Anderson, I think some of these numbers are incorrect from my poll, so I want to make sure get those up to date. So,
And I do know that last year, at some point, Sarah Abel had told me she was getting those together to send to Rodney to put on the website. So if you need those changed, like mine is incorrect, and please check and make sure that yours is correct. You can either contact me and with the correct date, or you could just directly email Sarah Abel with that, because I'm assuming since she gathered all that, I think she is the one in charge of that. But please make sure that those are correct, because they are posted on the website. And I'm hoping that even the titles are correct, because I know those were really wonky last time I checked on the website as well. Like I think Jennifer was maybe vice president, Sam was president, and I think Kristen was still secretary.
the title should be correct, because again, all this was pulled straight.
This is from, okay,
yeah, I
perfect.
just copied
Okay.
it over exactly where I got the information from you.
Then it just may be the dates.
Moving on in the office administration issues, we're still discussing the master plan. The deadline for 2026 is coming up in like 2 weeks, so you're definitely not going to make the cut for 2026. They say most master plans take 6 to 9 months planning, so probably when you get the ball rolling next year, I think you need to start getting things together. Starting in January, figure out how we want to go forward with it. I did do some research, and so did Alex. We submit our plans to a gentleman named Greg Balfus. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. He's with the Indiana Department of Natural Resources. That's who we submitted to. He reviewed Greg's plans. So pretty much we just need to figure out how we want to proceed. Again, Greg was contracted out separate from his director position to do that work. I do not have the bandwidth right now to take care of that. I just do not. Trying to run the 2 parks and 2 campgrounds. I mean, the second campground we added right before Greg left, and we still have not ironed out all the details of getting that to run smoothly and manage the campground as well as the grounds. I just feel like I'm spread too thin to add something else, and I don't feel like taking time off to do more work. Like I've said before, the older I get, it's time or money, not my time over money. So I'm willing to help out any way I can, get the ball rolling. I just do not have the energy or the time to do that as well on top of everything else right now. I don't know how we want to proceed with that. I don't, I can start researching the companies that we can maybe work with. I know I reached out to HWC. They just needed a better bullet point list of what we're looking for, because in his terms, they didn't want to put together a $50,000 plan if we're only looking to spend $10,000. So, that's where we're at with the master plan. Then moving on just in the office, we're having printer issues, like you can see on this. We have a nice little paint streak outside. I'm looking into replacing the printer, because they said it's going to cost $800 to $900 to repair it. And the new printer is probably $900 shipped out. So not a big deal, just wanted you guys to make you aware of that. We're going to look at that. Moving on to grounds. I mentioned a few months ago in the office, the plaster fell from the ceiling. Turns out there's no water damage or anything, so we decided just to fix the ceiling. We had an inspector come, there's no water damage, so everything else is fine. So we already, you guys approved 2,000 for non-reverting. First Choice Construction already came, did the work, they're done. All we have to do is repaint it this winter sometime, so that's all taken care of. The next major issue we're having on Scottsdale grounds is the Walnut Grove Schoolhouse. We actually got a fairly significant leak in the roof. It's already rotted away a couple of the rafters in the roof. It's already leaked through, destroyed part of the ceiling in the actual room schoolhouse, and started working its way down the floor. So I've started to receive bids. I already met with somebody today. I got a couple more appointments this week. I reached out to the Historical Society as well to see if they could help us as well. I didn't get a clear answer, but what they did say, I need to go to the council to ask for money. So to put it lightly, she said, when they handed it over to the county was supposed to have a fund or something to take care of this. So I don't know if that means there's an account I don't know about to take care of this, or if it just falls on us to take care of it. I'm not really sure how that works. So either way, I'm trying to get some quotes together to go to the council to ask them for funds, and then if they don't approve any funds, then we'll probably need to take it out of our non-reverting to get it taken care of. All I'm asking to be done is the roof replace the gutters, re-support any damage that's done in the attic, and then fix the roof inside, or not the roof, the ceiling inside the one-room schoolhouse. So, working on that now. We'll see what those bids come back and see what happens there. Lastly, we're just getting ready to shut the water off next week. We're going to close down all public restrooms, shut off the water in the campground, and officially move into the off-season. Moving on to Eco Lake, kind of discussed this last time. We agreed we're going to close down the campground starting on Monday the 3rd and reopen it in April. Like we discussed last year, it wasn't getting used enough, had too many issues, vandalism stuff going on, so we're just going to shut it down. Our camp host does plan to stay there throughout the winter, and he wants to work next year as well, so he's just going to hang out there, kind of be eyes on the property. And same with Muscatatuck, starting the week of November 3rd, we'll go out there and shut down that campground and turn off the water out A while back, we approved some money for aquatic control to come out and trap beavers, because we're having issues with the inlet and the overflow with the lake. They ended up trapping 2 beavers, 1 male, 1 female, and then they kept eyes on the property for another 6 days, and they saw no signs of any bite marks or any activity, so they feel like the young ones already went away, did their thing, and they trapped the 2 that were breeding. So we've already been out there and cleaned up the inlet overflows to make sure the water flows, so hopefully that issue is resolved unless the beavers return. Signage for Eco Lake Park. Greg got the ball rolling on like campground signs, directional signs out there. Shaw is still working on them. They're moving at a glacier pace, but they are working on it. So I'm hoping they'll be done by spring and we can get those signs up for the new camping season. So other than that, the grounds are going well. Everything is kind of getting taken care of, and it's just keeping the status quo right now. Moving on to our equipment, we had our air compressor die on this, so we recently just bought a new one, so we have air compressor in the shop because we have nothing to air up tires or anything like that. So we purchased a new one just this day, already got paid for it in our Power Tools account. Our new Dodge Ram truck, new to us. I received the title about 2 months ago. I still have not received the plates. So I was getting ready to ask Amy to jump about it today, but lots going on in the auditor's office, and she was too busy, so I didn't bother with that. Just keep my eye. For right now, we're just keeping the truck on the property, so there's no issues. But we do have another truck we can use on the property. So, moving on. One of our stag mowers, one of the spindles that hold the blades, it broke. We've already replaced it twice, but it keeps breaking on us, so we decided to just take it to professionals, have them take care of it. So, and then there's also a bent post on the tire. So to get all that done, it's going to be $915. I'm going to transfer a little money from the lumber over to repair and to cover all those costs, so we can have that mower back at 100%. The other mower that broke down at the beginning of the season, our oldest one, right now is going to cost $4,000 and $5,000 to repair it. We've kind of discussed just buying a new one next year to replace that one. So right now, we're just using that one for parts for anything. If anything goes wrong on the other mowers, we're using that mower to cannibalize and just fix what we can off that to use those resources. And that's it for the equipment. Our events, we're done with all the events for the year, thank goodness. And then I just wrote down a few lists of things that we're going to work on in the wintertime. We've had vandalism to some of our kiosks again, so we'll replace those. We're going to get caught up on the vandalism at Eco Bathhouse and kind of fix the partitions that got ripped off out there. One of the big things we got to do on all our properties is trim back the tree lines. It's just something that needs to be done periodically. Not a big thing, but it is very time. Takes a lot of time to do. Very exhausting work, but we'll be working on that. And then in the wintertime, we also use that time to work in the shop and build some new picnic tables and swap out any rotten ones in the campground. Just kind of get rid of the old nasty ones and build some new ones and replace those. As for the office stuff that I'm going to work on, I'm going to try to work on the year-end review reports, kind of get an idea of numbers on all our amenities, campgrounds, shelters, kind of see how we did there. I also need to design hours of operation sign for a splash pad, something official. Now that we have designated hours and times, I want to get something up there that looks nice and so people have the right information. Also, we kind of, as a group, been talking about different things. We want to update our policies, so I'm going to kind of go over our rules and policies and make adjustments. Of course, bring them to you guys to approve and get those all up to date. And then I'm also researching a new reservation system. Because the thing we have the most issues with, like at least 2 or 3 times a week, is saying people have issues getting the reservations, they can't understand it, or it's cumbersome, it's clunky. So I don't know if anything will come of it. I'm just reaching out. I actually had a meeting tomorrow with a company called CampSpot. They actually had an app. So we're doing a little demo tomorrow to look into that, because I feel like an app is what we need for camping. Just like, because our reservation system is made for a website. Everybody does it on the phone. Our website doesn't even work that well on a computer, let alone a phone. So I want to make sure, I just want to make that whole process run smoother and more efficiently for our campers and us. Even one of the testimonies for the reservation system we're looking at says they've reduced their phone time by 50%. They don't have to get on the phone with customers because it all just runs that much smoother. So yeah, I'm going to research that. And then, like I mentioned a while ago, I'm going to go over our website and just fine-tooth comb, make sure everything's up to date on the website, all the information's correct. And, yeah, make sure it's good to go. And that's all I have for the director's report. As always, the second packet is just financial information. First page is the council's proposal for the 2026 budget. Like I said, just everything's about the same, just 4% across the board, including that in the new line item for the splash pad. Going forward, we just have our monthly expenditures for each account. And then the next page, we have our bank deposits for October, which we're on target to make a little over $15,000 for October. Next page is just the transaction list for our non-reverting figures, what we spend, what we take in. Right now, our balance in our non-reverting is just shy of $200,000. We have $198,000 in there right now. The next page is just kind of a future outlook for our non-reverting. So of course we have $198,000 right now. Going to spend $6,000 for the stipends. I'm not sure what we're going to spend on master plans. So I looked up the link. Next year we talked about new mower. Those are roughly anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000. So I'm on the high side. And then I'm guessing around $20,000 for the Walnut Grove Schoolhouse in case the council does approve that money. So after expending all that, and we're estimating to bring in approximately another $18,000 this year. So if we spend all that and make all that, we'll still have roughly $170,000 on non-reverting going forward. So, and then lastly, we just have a historical review of our non-reverting, just how you idea of what we made each month, each year, going all the way back to at least 2011 on this page. Also, I forgot one more thing. Again, I typed all this up, and with everything on, I forgot to include this. Donnie Miller has reached out, and he's willing to donate the funds to renovate our old public restroom. So I'm working with Walter Pedigo, and we're getting some stuff done. Like, they're straight up going to replace the roof. We're going to take down, like, we have a little lean-to on one side that used to be there for the horseshoe pits. We're going to remove that. There's also a little back room that was used for the horseshoe pits. They're going to remove that. They're going to replace all the toilets, all the sinks, replace the roof, hopefully get doors on the front so we can remove those wooden structures for privacy. Those will be gone. We'll actually have doors on there. Yeah, kind of like a complete overall.
Nice.
I overheard he was looking to spend like $30,000, $50,000 on it. So
That's
I just met with Walter today, and there was some people that are getting numbers and stuff, so hopefully they'll get that done by next spring. I don't know when he'll get to it because he's got his own schedule, so hopefully by next spring we'll have all that work done.
It's a good gift.
That's a really
Yeah.
nice donation.
Yeah, very cool. He's also the one that helped donate for the other new bathhouse, the one in association with the splash pad.
Mhm.
Like he put a lot of money for that one to be built as well. So
Okay.
I love the end of the year for businesses. It's very nice for taxes. Okay, Seth, if you don't mind, I had a few things
absolutely.
just to go over the director's report. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I'm sorry that we're
whatever.
kind of going back here.
Mhm.
I know I've probably said this every meeting, but we have a county grant writer.
Mhm.
And I think it would be worth looking into for the schoolhouse. I think that, I mean, the schools has published in quite a bit of things. I mean, I would imagine, I know Vernon was able to speak with them about, I don't know what that building is called, that's right on the corner here, the big red one. Right across from the mural they did not that long ago. It's like a standalone, really tall building
Yeah.
over there. They were able to get like $200,000 for that one. I want to say it's called Indiana Landmarks or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be worth looking into before going to the council, because my thing with the council is when you go to them, they want to make sure you've already hit every other stop
Mhm.
before going to them. And I would really love if we were able to put a lot of money in that. I think half of my friends get their pictures done in front of the schoolhouse. I think it's really nice to have on the property, and I would hate for it to go to ruin.
That's
If we aren't able to, if we go into it and we need to use even more money than what's expected or anything, I would hate for the park to be out on that, because I don't think it's the park's,
Mhm.
in my personal opinion, I don't think the park should have to do that for that
No, I
building.
mean,
Is it-
And it's, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry. Is it possible that there is a budget for it somewhere? Is that what you said?
That's
The
what I'm not
Historical
sure.
Society might have
they
alluded to or
said when
something?
they handed over the county's supposed to have an account for it. Again, I don't know what she meant by that exactly, whether or not the council has a separate funds for it, or this is something that the department is supposed to take care of. I'm not sure what she meant by that,
I think
so.
you have to figure that
That's why I was
out.
wondering
That's a
how.
fair question,
Yes.
I think, if there is something, and then,
Because I've looked at the budget for the past 3 years, and I don't think I've ever seen a line item for
I don't recall, I mean, it would have come up
That.
at some point, and it probably would have said the way it has for so long.
But I think Indiana Landmarks would love to do something, would be more than happy to help with that building.
Or
And
if
I
there are
think-
grants from the Indiana Historical Society.
And that's what I was gonna say as well.
Yeah.
I don't know who handles all that, there, but I mean, especially with, and I hate to mention it, but with Main Street, with those Ready
Yeah.
grants and all that, it just goes to show there's a lot of money out there. You just have to go and look for it. I think that we should look into that. And Seth, were you ever able to contact anyone from the county about grants? Because I'm even thinking for and sorry I'm bebopping around here, for the master plan. $50,000 sounds really outrageous. And I think the previous director probably did it as a huge favor, only 10 grand doing that. And I so wish we were able to find those plans. But
I mean, I have Greg's plans, I have the one he did for 2021 to 2025, like, which I brought to multiple meetings, but it just hasn't been, yeah. I brought it like the last 4 meetings, but we never looked at it.
we never looked at. Are you able to forward that to us then?
No, it's a document in a binder, like 200 sheets. I don't have a digital format, I have a binder, I have this physical copy.
Okay. And there's nothing on like the desktop that is a file folder for that? Because I'm just wondering how he was able to submit it.
I've seen like a folder of like bits and pieces, but not the full thing put together. Like, just compartmentalized different sections, but not the whole thing.
Then you had it on like a jump drive or something.
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot. It was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's why I was shocked that there wasn't, we weren't able to find it for a minute. Okay, because, I mean that, I really wish we were able to get that master plan, or if we had, I thought we had decided a while ago we were going to kind of look into contracting that out.
Well,
It wasn't clear. I felt like you guys kept wanting me to do it. That's why I kept hearing like you wanted me to try to do it, and that's.
Well, I will say that because it had been done by the director for however many years, I think that, in my opinion, it was part of the job description for the master plan to be done by the director, and especially after having to go to the commissioners, and I was more than happy to ask for raises for everyone, but I think because we did get such a substantial raise for our director's position, I mean.
but I think
I
he got
think
extra for doing that. That was an extra on the side pay.
No, 100%.
I mean, when Greg did, yes, like that was an
100%.
extra on the side pay.
I'm just stating that the substantial jump in salary, and I say substantial because it was more than 4%, sorry, that the commissioners gave us, I would think that they would expect that to be done as well.
No, I mean, I can say the city part doesn't do it themselves. They contract it all out. Like, I don't know that anyone does it themselves. I mean, it's a lot.
And I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying the fact that we're not doing it, I don't think is good. That
Oh,
is
like for
that
this year.
yes, that is what I'm stating.
I think we just need to decide, like, if he's like, I think it needs to be contracted out, we need to find some options to contract it out, right? Like,
And that's what I
and I
thought
don't
we were
even
looking
know,
into.
like, I mean, well, we did, but like HWC wanted to know, like, what exactly, how specific of a plan do you want? I know zero about what I'm talking about here. I mean, like, they want to know specifics before they start the plan.
You know, I have ideas on what I want to focus on for the next 5 years. You know, like it's basically me. I want to make sure the 2 parks run efficiently. Like I said, I want to work on the reservation system. Again, like we started this whole other campground and park, and that started on Greg's last year. So like he wasn't even fully involved on managing both campgrounds, getting everything up running. So like that's why I don't want to do master plan, because like it's kind of chaotic right now. the number of phone calls, like the camping situation is just nonstop, like barely get anything done in the office because it's phone calls all day long. So, yeah, I feel like the extra money I receive as the director applies to managing 2 parks now, because for 30 years there was only 1 park. So I don't think that implies I need to also take on a whole other side job.
I think we just need to figure out, get some quotes and go with it and just get her done.
Do you know of any other companies that do the master
I'm not sure, it's kind
plans?
of a weird thing to search. I found, HWC obviously, I bookmarked a company called Accordion or something, I'm not sure where they're out of. Like, again, I just did a tiny bit of research because everything else going on right now. But no, I don't know, because there's nothing really local, you know what I mean? Everything I search, there's people like in Chicago or like there's nothing.
And it needs to be somewhere around here, right? That would have
Yeah.
some perception of like.
And
What, like,
HWC
like-
might be fine. Again, he just didn't like. I don't think he was clear and I wasn't clear. Because I talked to him, we had like an hour meeting. He took a bunch of notes, and I thought he was going to give me a quote for something. Nothing ever came. He's like, "No, I need an actual bullet list of what you need." 'Cause he pretty much he said he didn't want to waste his time. He wasn't going to. He didn't want to put a bunch of time into it if we weren't going to pay what he was going to work for. If that makes sense. So. If we just want to spend 10 grand, I'm sure we can give him a little list and he can, throw it together in an afternoon or whatever it takes for 10 grand worth. I don't know.
Surely there's like specifics of what it has to involve, right?
Yeah, there's a
And
guidelines.
you
yeah.
had looked at the guidelines already,
Yeah.
correct?
Mhm. It's all laid out by the, Department of Natural Resources, I believe exactly. But yeah.
Because, I mean, I've never had anything to do with the master plan other than knowing that it was done or knowing that there was a deadline. I actually don't even think I've been a part of the board since it had to be done yet because of the time span. So previously, were you guys able to see the master plan? Was it presented to the board?
You could look at it, but literally it's like,
Okay.
it's a lot. Now, Greg always had in his brain, he was kind of a planner, he had his 5-year plan and his 10-year plan and his 12-year plan and his, you can, our audience will agree, like he really could lay out that plan forever because he knew, I want to do the electricity, blah, 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 like a general. And then I think he turned that into the master plan is what he ended up doing.
Seth,
And
do
did you
you
ever look at a whole master plan?
Pardon?
Did you ever see a whole master plan? Because I don't think I've ever spent the time to look at it.
But I know it was a side job.
Yes.
Extra,
Mm-hmm.
you got paid extra for that.
Yeah, it was an extra like
And
stipend.
it was a lot of work.
Yeah, it definitely was a lot of work, and I'm not saying that you don't already have a lot. I'm just saying that I think that I was under the impression you were handling the master plan, and I don't mean just doing it. I mean either finding someone to contract out to, and I say that because again, we had never had anything to do with the master plan other than knowing maybe a deadline or that it was done. That's all I'm saying with that. Do you feel comfortable with a 5-year plan for either Muscatatuck or Eco, Seth? Do you feel like you kind of have like a blueprint you're kind of going with there, like 5-year? Would you say it's farther than that, or you've just been able to kind of plan for a shorter term? I know it's been a lot.
I don't have a time frame per se. I know like goals I want to accomplish, things like that. But I don't have a timeline per se. Again, this is the first year, even like this year, things come up. I'm figuring out how our money is spent and how far it goes. So like that's why I'm not in any hurry to spend a bunch of money, just because like, things pop up all the time. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got ideas. I don't know what kind of answer you're looking for, but yeah, I have ideas.
If you had a 5-year plan for either park.
Not a 5-year plan. Again, I know what I want to accomplish, but I don't have anything written down or mapped out. Again, I'm just trying to get things to run smoothly and efficiently, and that takes all my time, just getting that done.
Yeah, I think the first year, just working out the kinks of everything is great. I don't think there's any problem with that. My question to you was just that, because I feel like that would, if you had a 5-year plan of some sort, or even a 2-year plan, or even the next year, if we could just start with those bullet points. Like you got a phone call from a county council member, I did as well, who had a great experience at the park, and then opened this conversation of what are some things you're wanting, and I was like, well, you know, the person to ask wouldn't really even be me, it's the person who gets to make the even better decisions. So
But again, when I spoke to that same individual, and when I spoke to that, like, I thought there'd be extra funds. He's telling me, hey, you got non-reverting, use it. So that's what that conversation was. It wasn't like the council had more money they're willing to give us. He's saying, hey, you have money, spend it. It wasn't like there's more funds they want to give us. They wanted to use our non-reverting.
and that's why it's extremely important to have conversations via email, because I was told the opposite. I was told there was extra money somewhere and that
That's
we were
what
going to
was
get our
my
hand.
impression. When
Yeah,
I spoke to the individual, he's like, you got all that non-reverting, use it. I'm like, well, look, I've already spent 70 grand this year. I'm using it for important things that come up. I'm just not going to come in here and start buying stuff willy-nilly. You know, like that's irresponsible.
I agree.
So
100%. And that's just where I was going, is because I was told there was
Yeah.
extra money, and
That's what I
and
thought
you got to kind of make up a little list where we would kind of get some things.
Well, I think that's our first step to even do a master plan, though, is gonna have to be like making those bullet points. Like, here's what I wish, like
I agree.
we talked about. I mean, you got your truck, thank God, you finally at least have two. I mean, you can't take it off the park premises, and it's taken all summer, but
yeah.
it's the craziest thing ever. But at least you have two. But honestly, you need something to drive around besides, like, you know, we talked about the mule or
We talked about
or
that for a couple years. Yeah.
something, because if you're here working and you don't have one of those trucks, you're driving your personal or just the wish list of like, this is what we really need to do. You know, the tractors at both places or whatever. I think we have to have some kind of a little list to even hand someone if we wanted to do that master plan.
Well, and you had talked about disc golf down the road, the disc golf.
And I don't think it has to be set in stone, but something to
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
And that's an idea, and that sounds great too, but really that's on the bottom of the list. You
Sure.
look at like,
yeah,
you know,
Electric.
electrical issues on, like, I just like spend $2,000 to get electrical fixed at 2, and the electrician's like, you really need to replace all this. You know, we have issues in the campground of, you know, electrical issues down there, we got water leaks, so it's more like, let's spend $50,000 on replacing the electrical, you know,
Yeah.
spend, you know, stuff like that. So,
and that's probably what most pressing, electric and like the water
yeah.
lines, just because they're so antiquated here.
I will say that the next county council meeting is November 18th at 6 p.m. Seth, I'm more than happy to get on that agenda for any additional concerns you had for potentially the salary denial
Okay.
for Isaac. Or if you had any stipulations with, you know, feeling like you kind of, sorry, my brain's not working these days. Not having the right, maybe direction with the master plan, which is it is a huge deal. Being compensated for that, if it's going to be expected of the director, if it's the cheapest route, should the director or assistant or any assistants maybe look into having to do that or whatever and be given additional compensation. I'm happy to go to them about that, and I also am happy to circle back with a county council member about additional funds. I get really sad when I look at the budget because we went from getting being approved for $30,000 for someone's salary to not being able to increase someone's salary who's been with us for Isaac 7, 5,
Going on
4
Yeah.
for 4 years. I think feels like a little bit of a punch.
I agree.
So I'm happy to go. I would be able to make that meeting. I can't promise anything, of course, but I'm more than happy to go back for anyone when it comes to compensation. I feel like I've always tried to express that. So
And with the salary and the budget, I didn't know what the next step was. Like, this is my first time dealing with this process. I didn't know when would be the next time I had the opportunity to counter or discuss it.
So, I remember last year we were given maybe it started out with the auditor's office to human resources to the departments. But I remember this timeline. They give you this whole timeline of when the meeting is, when the council looks at everything, blah, 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 blah. There is a certain period of time where you get to kind of go back and say, hey, you denied this, or you approved this, but I actually need more than that. There is a period of time for that. Last year was really hard because they kept changing the dates. I've not seen any documentation when it comes to that. Like I said, I think the starting point is auditor's office. If you don't have time to ask, I'm more than happy to do that as well. And I'll do that from the park board email, so I will make sure to add, I might CC Sam and Seth, but then I will forward everything to everyone's individual email, if we are able to get that, or to be able to just print it off at one of our meetings. But you do get a time frame to kind of go and explain why you need additional
Yeah,
funding.
it's
that
once
wasn't
to come. Yeah.
there. Yep, you get to go back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you guys haven't heard anything about when that would happen.
When looking at the budget, did you have any other, because just from the meeting minutes, it looked like the only thing you put in there was the splash pad and Isaac's pay. Did you have anything else you feel like you wanted to tweak, either?
No, everything else, again, first year I've seen, like, everything seems fine in all our accounts.
Okay.
The only thing, I didn't bring it up because it's not gonna major, ask for more money for uniforms, and I think they approved that too. Because originally we had like 450 for uniforms, and we got 4 people, campers, so I think they approved 1,000
Okay.
for that, so, yeah, everything else is 4% across the board.
Okay, because like I said, my biggest thing is not getting that $30,000. And with 2 parks, we only added to our work, so there's just no reason to deny. Anything
Yeah.
for anyone there?
It's the point I was frustrated, I feel bad even saying this in front of, I offered to waive my raise. Like I said, I don't want a raise, I already have mine, but they still gave me a 3% increase, but denied the extra I asked for him, which totally goes against my wishes and what I wanted, so, yeah, it's frustrating.
Does it all go back to the starting point and the base salary at the starting time?
See, I don't think we have any kind of base salary, it's just, yeah.
Like across the county? Is that what you mean by base salary?
Or like, you know, assistant 1 starts with this, or assistants 2, like, I don't think anything. Well,
Okay.
everybody that's been here, like, Alex, when he got hired on, he just took my account that I was on,
Yeah.
you know, and then I just took Greg's, and like, so, you know, I've been here 9 years, Paul's been here 9 years, Isaac 4, Alex just took over my account, so there's never been like, you know, a new person comes in at this point, and
Yeah.
moves up. It's just they fall in.
Though Isaac and Paul have the same responsibilities, same hours, same et cetera, so they still don't look at that on equal footing.
That, yeah, that's what I told him.
Seth, could you do me a favor and get everyone's, the staff, could you get the starting month/year for me? When
Yeah.
I go and, or, because I'm hoping it will be with you, however, I can do it by myself as well. When I go and ask for more, I need to know the month and the year for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That way Nikki won't have, I'll be able to say that all then and not have to wait for Nikki to get back with them or anything, from Human Resources. I'm sorry, I know I didn't mean to take all the time if someone else had anything.
Okay. I only have half a face.
Oh, I won't judge. There were no, are we good with the director's report? No, any questions from anyone? Okay. We'll move on to approved claims. I don't think Seth had any for us today. We will move on to guest comments. I do have 5 minutes left, and then I do need to go make my virtual therapy appointment. I cannot miss that today. So, do we have any guest comments?
My only concern is we're running out of time at the end of the year, which is part of the problem when the bonus is taken. So we're at a year and a month now, is how long it's taken thus far. And I just don't want that to happen again, where the, you know, ran out the prior year and the money got shifted around. I know it has to be correct channels and paperwork and everything filed.
The difference this time is this money is in part of the budget, so it doesn't disappear. So even though the process is taking a long time, the money's there, it's coming out of non-reverting, so it's just going through the channels to get things approved. So it's not like the money's going to disappear, it's just fighting our fight and getting it approved. So, but a valid point.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Where
We
I
hear
would add in defense of my raise is that I do have equal responsibilities with Paul. Paul has a higher level of knowledge, but I provide a higher volume and, not to my own horn, but quality of, things that I can do. And I think it's a very fair value for the money. It's you kind of get what you pay for with me, I guess. Anyway. So that's in defense of my raise.
Yeah, absolutely. Understood. I'll even check into, do like the market evaluation. I will check into similar parks as well, to be able to present that as well to the county council. I'm more than happy to go and speak on that too. I think where we got into hot water with salary raises was when I went and asked for the raise for the director's position. And with having a new director, there were a lot of people sitting behind me whenever I was standing up there who were department heads who were not making that. So that put us into not us. We got a lot of eyes on us after that, but it put the county council, because they had approved something not knowing that, which is the issue with not having a base salary for certain positions, I would say. That's where you kind of get into hot water with that. But I will look through the budget. Seth, were you sent the entire county budget by chance? Could you forward that to me, please? Because I'll go through that, and I will look at people who have similar experience with you. And I know that's not the most important part. I know that nobody's job equals each other given the job descriptions, but I'll look into that as well, and maybe look at some of the percentage increases that some people received, maybe that others didn't. But I do not know do you know the salary income for the poverty line? Do you know what that is off the top of your head?
What I make,
Okay, because I thought it was about 33,000, and that's just something that I want to be able to mention to them as well.
because I'm right there with it. And that's pretty frustrating when you're cleaning toilets and dealing with angry homeless people and.
yeah.
And I will also just express that sometimes the issue is that when people don't know what you do, they just, I think it's hard for them to, not they don't understand the value of it, but to be able to accurately put an hourly wage with that.
That'd be a long list. We do
100%.
A to Z.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing
100%.
skilled work like carpentry, plumbing. things
Electrical, all
that People
of that.
can get what they want for.
Yes, constantly working against the public and the elements. I mean, yeah.
And going back
Isn't
to
it?
being Paul, I have no desire to be equal to Paul. Paul has vastly more knowledge than I do and significantly more seniority, and I have that utmost respect for that. So I'm not trying to be even with Paul.
Well, and I mean, that is you have great integrity. I think it just may be good for our department to have, if we're going to have people with the same shared responsibilities, to have the same pay just going forward. I think it would be easier for hiring and things like that. So
It's weird, like, I don't know what the stipulations are with the county. It'd be easy.
I
if it was-
don't.
I'm sure there's some something that we should figure out, because you're exactly right. It would be much better if you knew what
it'd
the,
just be a lot easier, I think, for the hiring process and certainly for the employees. This is not a union or anything, so that's all that I had on. Oh, sorry, any other guest comments? Well, thank you for being here. Okay, anyone, the next meeting is, the next meeting is October 24th.
no,
Nope, sorry.
you're a month behind, lady.
I am, and I am late for my therapy. It is November 24th. It'll be at this building at 5:30 p.m.
25th.
25th,
All right.
almost.
Okay, November 25th
You got it.
at this building.
That's the last
Ooh,
one.
that is the last one of the year. We will not have one in December. Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move we adjourn.
I second
Okay,
that.
what do I need to do? Okay, Sam second adjourning the meeting. All those in favor?
All right.
All right.
All right, unopposed.
15-year-old's birthday party at my house. Because there was no other time back here. So we should play basketball from basketball at 7:30.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yes. They drew for my
Hi, Beth. I am getting to my car. I'm just leaving a meeting. Sorry, and I can't hear you because my phone is on really low volume, but hopefully you see me scrambling. I am gonna run out there. I have a thumbs up from you. That's great.